I'm gonna hit him! Oh, we are taking off glasses? Okay.
Yeah! You're gonna break my glasses!
You're being so negative.
Hold on. Okay. Am I in the shot?
Yeah, you're in shot. You got a good amount of back, too, so...
Like, right there with that hand you're doing?
Yeah, sure.
Well, don't fake me out. Just do it.
I know, but last time you flinched until I was doing something like this.
Well, yeah, that makes me more comfortable. Just do it fastly.
Oh, that was... I like using my right. You actually took that one like a champ.
Yeah.
Good job.
So you're gonna do right or left? Fucking, okay.
Okay.
Oh! You made my ear ring for that.
Sorry. Woo! You hit me in the ear!
Why would you do that? Oof.
Welcome to the final episode of Wheel 1. That was either really cool or really lame. Hello, everyone! Welcome to Cinema Roulette.
Oh, yeah. So this is the first live-action episode we've had since part of Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Since the December episode.
Yeah.
All released in December. Like they were supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you hear my dog, I apologize.
She's scratching her shelf.
She's adorable. Her name is Ginger. But, so today we are going to do sort of a recap of what was on the first wheel, if our thoughts have changed at all on the things.
Yep.
And do sort of a best worst, which won't be too bad because this is...
Yeah.
These were all pretty decent films.
Yeah, honestly, there's nothing that
Hold
was...
on, I'm taking these off.
Yeah, it's fair. There was nothing really that was bad. It was just either, like, good to fucking fantastic.
Yeah, so first go in order, I assume?
Sure.
Well, not choosing best or worst, just like going over the recap because our first episode was Drive.
Hell yeah.
Have our thoughts changed at all on this?
No, I still love the movie.
Nothing else you want to add? Because I know we hated the, the only problem I had was like the second car chase in the day.
Yeah.
Which was kind of boring. Like, it wasn't very interestingly shot, and you see him go from LA to mountains in like 3 seconds.
Clearly, yeah, which I don't think that's how that works.
I mean, you can go from LA to mountains, but it does it in a way where it seems like not much time has passed.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's like he's driving, just all of a sudden he's in the mountains.
Yes, my pawn shop in the middle of nowhere. Right next to the beautiful mountains!
Yeah, because you don't really see any mountains. It's literally, it's clearly flat land in the background.
This is flat, desolate land.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's really, honestly, just more of a nitpick, honestly.
Yeah, that movie is still really enjoyable. Oh, Ginger, why do you walk around? She's scared of the tripod.
Is she? Is that her scared face?
She looked up at it and just went, Yeah, I don't think anything's changed. That may be for a bunch of these is like not much has changed and not much to add. Especially ones that we record this weekend. So.
Yes.
Assault on Precinct 13.
Yeah, it's a really good, interesting movie because I know watching it the first time I liked it more than you did, but you can still really appreciate it. I think it's one of those movies which has kind of grown on me. So
I don't think it's as much grown on me, like enjoyment wise. But I can definitely respect it for being a low budget film.
Yeah,
and the amount of effort that's put into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said that in the episode, so not much too far has changed there either.
Yep.
No, I was about to say Jaws, but that's the 4th episode. Grand Budapest was...
That one, in my opinion, really hasn't changed. It's still a great movie, honestly.
Yeah, I think
Wes Anderson.
I think these first couple, not much has changed.
Yeah.
Adding what... Thinking. I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing I wanted to add.
To Jaws.
Hey, Justin. What if you, took notes before shooting the episode? That would have probably been smart. Fourth was Jaws.
Yep.
Jaws was... it's one of those classic films where it actually deserves to be called a classic film.
Yes, it's still highly entertaining action-adventure, kind of horror movie, so...
Yeah, we
discussed how the scares really didn't hold up, a lot of them, but...
Some of the tension still works.
Oh, the tension absolutely still works, I think, so...
But, the corpse in the boat, I'm very meh on, honestly.
I know that scared a lot of people when that first came out, but it was just just his head floating around. The thing I just love about it is how fucking violent it is for a PG movie.
Well, they didn't drink... Well, no, they did drink, but they didn't swear too much.
Yeah, there's still a fair amount of language, but they didn't say... I don't think they ever said fuck. So.
Or maybe they said it once, but, you can get away with one fuck.
Yeah.
Actually, with Jaws, because I said it's a classic that deserves to be called that, Big Heat later on is the other example. I thought I heard the camera, tear a bit. That's why I quickly looked.
Did it or didn't it?
It didn't.
Okay.
But I thought I heard something. Okay, a film actually with some changes. Seeking a Friend for the End of the World was next.
Yeah, that was one that I know upon first viewing I enjoyed it more than you did. But yeah, that one's even still to this day has kind of grown on me because it was just refreshing because the description and the way it was advertised is super deceiving. That's the problem. It makes it look like more like a comedy, doesn't it?
Yeah,
which it has funny moments and dark humor, but it's not a straight up comedy.
It's not. It's very dark and it's I don't know. I guess it's thought provoking would be the term.
Because end of the world scenarios are always super overhyped, like meteors falling from the sky and blah 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 blah.
Well, no, in apocalyptic movies, there's two versions. It's everyone's going to die within the next 2 minutes, or everyone goes crazy.
Everyone goes crazy, or something happens where the world gets turned into a post-apocalyptic desert wasteland, like Mad Max or something.
Yeah, but this one's a middle ground. It's, the world is screwed.
Yeah,
but we have time.
It was refreshing, too, to see a realistic take on the end of the world, like how people would actually react, probably. So,
yeah, and this film, like you said, I didn't really like it at first, but it has definitely grown on me. Mm-hmm. Remembering it a lot more, and also thinking about it as that one realistic apocalyptic movie. I even have a copy of it, but I didn't drag it over here because I'm an idiot.
But yeah, it's it did kind of throw me off at first, but once I kind of accepted fairly early on that, it's going to be this kind of movie, I enjoyed it a lot more. So, nice.
Excuse me. Then one of the more surprising films, The Babadook.
The Babadook!
Which didn't replace any film, Cameron.
What?
It wasn't used to replace any other film that was on the wheel.
Correct.
You fuck. Still bad. It's still bitter on that one.
So funny.
The Babadook didn't... I keep hearing noises. I think there's a receipt on there and it's blowing around because of the fan. But The Babadook was pretty surprising. I mean, I knew it was going to be good.
Yeah.
And besides that opening act with the kid being the most annoying little bastard, it did turn into this really creative and fun horror movie.
Yeah, and genuinely creepy. Genuinely gets under your skin, which a lot of modern horror movies really don't do anymore.
This was the one where it was the director's first time, right?
I believe so. Yeah, which is pretty impressive, honestly.
I'm going to double check what her name is, because she is a very fantastic director.
Yeah.
Jennifer Kent.
Okay.
And then we found she had one other movie. We were like, oh, we could watch her at some point. And then it was, I think you looked up and there's a lot of rape, or very hard to watch scenes of rape.
Multiple instances in that movie of rape.
Yeah.
I think people literally walked out of the screening because they were like, man, she's already been raped 2 times. What the fuck? So.
Yeah, that. Cameron.
Yes?
There's a short film called How the Duke Stole Christmas.
Oh my fucking god.
This is something to note for later.
Oh my... How long is it?
Hold on. 2 minutes. We will have...
Is it on YouTube, I wonder?
We'll look into that later.
How the Duke Stole Christmas. That's adorable.
That's fantastic. It's the picture of a fucking Babadook wearing a Christmas hat.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Suspiria.
Still one of my favorite Dario Argento movies, and just, I guess, Italian horror in general. So,
man, Italy had a lot of genre films, didn't it?
Yeah,
that got big in America. Well, I don't know how big was Argento in America.
Well, Suspiria was his big hit. I'm not sure how his quote-unquote Animals trilogy did, because that was the first 3 films he did: The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, The Cat o' Nine Tails, and Four Flies on Grey Velvet. I think
Flies are not animals.
Yes, they are.
They're bugs. They're insects. Okay. That's not an animal.
But I think Bird with the Crystal Plumage might have been big, but yeah, Suspiria was his big hit, like in Europe and America. So
okay.
And there was the film that got me hooked on Argento. Obviously, it was my first watch. I'm like, I really love his fucking style. I need to check out more of him. So.
It's such an interesting style to add so much color to horror.
I know, and it works really well, adding to the atmosphere of the whole thing. Just the stark use of just primary colors is brilliant.
I'm trying to think if more modern horror has been using color again. I know the remake of Suspiria looked gray as hell, which is such a slap in the face, honestly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is still probably one of my favorites that we watched.
Yes.
That it was just a solid slasher before slashers.
It was, and it's great, yeah, because they call it giallo films, was the early Italian equivalent of slasher films. So
nice.
Yeah.
Princess Mononoke was next.
Yeah. It's interesting because the first time I watched this, I thought, oh, that's good. It was okay. I didn't like it as much as the other Ghibli films, but upon second viewing for the podcast, I was like, wow, this is actually a lot better than I remember it. So, and I still really fucking enjoy the movie.
I think I still stay where I am, where I thought this was good. Mm-hmm. Like the action was fun. I debate in my mind if it felt like it went on a bit long for my first viewing. Like, there were some moments where it slowed down a bit too much for me.
Gotcha.
It is the best Legend of Zelda movie I've ever seen,
It is.
Evil Dead.
I loved this movie.
You loved it a lot more than I did.
I really enjoyed the movie. Yeah, like I said, I give it a solid 8 out of 10 just because I just loved how... and it might be just because I just love the Evil Dead series and I'm a huge sucker for it. But it's a remake that, again, it's so rare that not only stays true to how the original worked, it also built upon it. So, and I just loved the practical and gore effects. I thought they were so cool.
The practical and gore were fucking, disturbingly awesome.
Yes.
I do respect it in the sense of, we talked about this off the podcast, where you said it's like it kept the heart of what made Evil Dead good, but added enough into it to make it something else.
Yeah, to clearly have the director make it his own thing as well. So.
Which, yeah, I do respect that a lot. I don't know, I feel just kind of okay on like 7 out of 10 instead of 8.
Gotcha.
Also, one scene I forgot to mention that disturbed the hell out of me. When the main character is infected with the demon, she's sitting in her room, and they're like, oh, nothing's wrong, it will pass. And she looks in the mirror, and you just see the ghost going,
oh, yeah.
I don't know why that bugs me so much. But it was just how quick she was moving her tongue and just staring with wide eyes. It fucking irks me the wrong way.
So fucking cool. And then what's the next one?
Vantage Point.
I think we can all agree this was the weakest movie on the whole wheel.
Oh, yeah, I hardly remember it.
Yeah, and this was a film, and I always said this in the podcast, that came out around the same time as the Bourne movies, and those were big, and every movie back then had to be desaturated, it had to have shaky cam all over the place, it had to have some like super big deep like political conspiracy thriller, this was still kind of a conspiracy thriller, but
I don't think all of them needed deep conspiracy thrillers. It was mainly the action had to be shot like this.
Yeah, and it really bugged me. So back then, like, action movies were so stagnated that anything that stood out, because the color was really done, and I was really worried that it would have the shaky cam shit, because I think before this, the last time I had seen it was in theaters or something like that. And I know I had the DVD for the longest time, which is why I remembered the movie.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I was happy that it was shot really well for the time, and I think that's, again, why it stuck out, is because anything that it was shot competently and had a semi-unique premise really stuck out, especially during 2008, I think it was, when it came out.
Yeah.
So
I think with this film, it has a great setup and a pretty good story, like, with the different vantage points, but Tish. It just needed a bit better direction.
Yeah.
Like, we mentioned this also in the episode where the shot where, like, when we go back to the next story, there's no real cut. It just kind of rewinds, if I remember correctly.
That's the whole fact, is it just rewinds, like, and it's like effect as it rewinds. But
there could have been a lot more clever ways, I think, to rewind, like maybe looking at whoever we're going to next, zoom in on their face, and then they have the same face, but we're back at the beginning.
And I mean, I think because that was the gimmick of the movie. So, and I mean, granted, it may have been a bit confusing to jump back and forth with no clear transition.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be hard to make it more clear.
No, it wouldn't. But I mean, I'm kind of glad they did. But you're right; they could have been done in a much more clever manner than just every time just rewind.
Yeah, if the directing was a bit more interesting, I think the film would have very much.
Which is interesting because it's the same dude who did Dredd. So
it's true.
And I think Dredd was 12, so that was after Vantage Point, I'm pretty sure.
Let me double check. 2008, and 2012, 4 years later.
Okay.
And then after that, we got Gone Girl.
Yeah, that was a surprisingly good movie. I really enjoyed that.
Surprisingly good, but the least rewatchable David Fincher film.
Yeah, it is, because it really banks on
not knowing
what's going to happen next. It's a very tense thriller, like the first time through, because it's just, you don't know, it's without spoiling anything, it's just, you really don't know where it's going to go. It threw me for a loop, and there were a lot of times where I just didn't know, where are they going with this? So fascinating to watch, but once you know everything, all that tension's kind of gone.
Yeah.
So,
and even when I was viewing it a second time, I was still enjoying myself. Like, the acting is really well done. Fincher's camera work is fantastic. But since I knew what was going on, I was more excited to see Cameron's reaction than I was to just see it again.
Yeah.
And then we have American Psycho.
Yeah. That one I really enjoyed, because that's one of those movies I'm surprised I'd never seen before.
Yeah, you have a weird section of the 80s you just haven't watched for some reason.
Gremlins, and don't forget, American Psycho was 2000.
I always forget that. It feels like such an 80s
Doesn't
movie.
Doesn't it? That's the thing. But yeah, it's like, that was the thing I loved about it, is when I was watching it, I always would completely forget that it was shot in 2000. Like, whoever the director was, she did such a good job of capturing the 80s feel that...
I think the book was released in the 80s.
Yeah, book was 80s, which would make sense. What's her name?
Mary Herron.
Mary Herron. She did such a good job of capturing that whole look and feel of the 80s that, like, if you watched it without knowing the year at all, you would probably say this was made in the 80s.
I remember it as an 80s movie,
too,
and
which
it's
is
not.
Strange. Yeah.
Actually, fucking, what is it called? That's the best period piece I've ever seen of the 80s.
Really? For real?
And then, on the complete fucking opposite end, we got Frances Ha.
Yeah, we go right from American Psycho to Frances Ha. That was a really, really fun, enjoyable movie. I really liked that. Like, I knew it was going to be more of a low-key thriller. And again, it's one of those movies where you don't want to go in with super high expectations, but... still really enjoyable just for how odd and off-putting it is.
It's very new wave, it's indie, and it's just kind of a nice film to sit through. I Oh, how else to really describe it? And then sticking New Wave, we went to Taxi Driver.
Yep. American New Wave in the 70s. So, yeah, Taxi Driver. I still really like the movie. There's not much else I have to say on it, honestly.
There was that feeling during the episode where we're like, what were the themes or whatnot?
Yeah, because it kind of raises questions and themes and then never really answers them.
I don't think it stuck in my mind much, like, after we watched it. Though. Like, I still remember scenes, I remember character moments and all that.
Yeah,
same. But nothing, like, keeping me thinking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was more just, like, after watching, like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was really good because I just forgotten how weird the dialogue was at times.
Okay, now we're going to rapid fire because the next 6 movies are all ones we have watched in the past couple of days.
Yep, so it's time for the lightning round. Let's go.
Django Unchained.
Still love the movie. Still really good.
Super fucking good.
Yeah.
One of Quentin Tarantino's best.
Hell yeah.
Still better than Inglourious Bastards. Fight me, Internet. Dread.
Still love it.
Better than Vantage Point.
Better than... Well, yeah, the director clearly got his shit together.
And
so...
knew how to shoot action and knew how to use an R rating.
Yes. He wasn't confined to the PG-13 that was Vantage Point.
The Big Heat.
I was really disappointed.
Overrated.
I think it's very overrated. I don't want to say this again, but I'm a huge Fritz Lang fan, so I went into this with a bit higher expectations just because... It's in the past, I've watched a ton of his movies, and he always has a very distinct style. So I went with a bit higher expectations. I was like, I just didn't expect it to be shot so straightforwardly. And it's not bad. It's just a good noir. It doesn't go above and beyond or anything. And again, like you said, the reason it's probably remembered is because for the shocking coffee scene.
Yeah, which this is why I kind of say a classic that doesn't deserve classic anymore. I think I should also add to that. Because there are so many classic movies where at the time you can understand why people were like, holy shit, this is amazing, or this is so new. But nowadays, it's just like, oh, a person gets injured by hot coffee. Yeah, I've seen Haywire.
But yeah, the problem is since then it's been done better is the problem, and like you can
probably by the same director too. Yeah. It's been done better.
Oh yeah, it's the weakest Fritz Lang film I have seen so far.
Jeez,
like I love it. It's like a lot of his silent movies and his early talkies. I can so appreciate for how technically incredible they were at the time. Like M was 1931.
Jeez,
1931. It was his first sound film, and just the way he uses sound in that movie, and the way like he used to just accentuate the thing. He was one of the first people to really get how sound worked. Because you watch a lot of early talkie films, it's just a lot of times just them sitting around talking.
Or singing. In blackface.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But then that's all there is. But no, Fritz Lang used not only sound, but he knew when to use silence, too. Like the Testament of Dr. Mabuse, which I think was 1934, like a couple years after M. Mm-hmm. The opening scene is in a factory, and you just hear the doom-sh, doom-sh, doom-sh on the factory.
The
okay. But you just hear that as the guy's going through the factory kind of looking for stuff. And it's like, man, he got it. Like, right after he got how it worked, and it's so impressive to see that kind of stuff. And even his later sound films, I can still appreciate for just the style, but he's had no style. Hardly any.
More like the big sellout. But yeah, that's that. John dies at the end.
I still love it.
Great cult film.
Great cult film.
But... acting is well done. It's weird. It's fun. It's very Adult Swim.
Yes.
Fight Club. Don't talk about it. World's End. Proper one to end on.
It is. I still really like the movie. It's just, like you said, it was interesting because of the dark streak that it had. But I still really enjoyed the movie and really appreciate it for being willing to go to darker places.
Also, if the show suddenly starts going downhill after we... talked about it, it'll be so fucking ironic.
Oh, I know, right?
We'll just play the clip of Gary talking about his promised greatness.
Yeah.
And then that would be the end of the first wheel.
Yeah, so that's a recap. So not much has changed. I know Seeking a Friend, your opinion kind of changed.
Yeah, that was the main one I wanted to talk about a bit.
But yeah, other than that, it's still about the same. So
okay, best and worst.
Of each category, yeah?
Each category, and then I can do it as a whole. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, we can both decide which is the worst one because we've already said it's Vantage Point. That was
the weakest one.
The weakest. I shouldn't say worst.
Yeah, because it wasn't bad. It was just passable.
It was average.
Yeah.
It was better than a Marvel movie.
Wow!
Some people would be bad.
We're going to lose all our fans right away after the first wheel. Jesus Christ. Ouch.
Bye, Goober.
Is he a Marvel fan?
Yeah. I mean, you said all of our fans.
Oh, no. Well, okay.
Oh, bye, Steven. There. See? All of them are gone.
But, okay, yeah. So,
okay.
Best and worst of each category.
Well, since mine started off, films I've seen and you hadn't at the time.
List them off each time.
There was Drive, Grand Budapest, Gone Girl, American Psycho, Frances Ha.
Mm-hmm. So we're doing best first?
Best first.
I'd say either Grand Budapest or Drive, honestly. I'd say probably Drive.
Drive. So, started off strong. I still think Frances Ha is my favorite.
Hey, that's fair.
It makes me feel so warm and happy.
Yeah.
Also, our lane probably just dim because of clouds. Then to be fair, films you've seen and I haven't.
Yeah.
Princess Mononoke, Vantage Point. Oh wait, actually, going back to mine. What was the worst? Just so we can.
What was the worst of yours?
Drive, Grand Budapest, Gone Girl, American Psycho, Frances Ha.
Wait, is that the right category?
Yeah, for films I've seen and you haven't.
Okay. Weakest. Say those one more time. I'm sorry.
Drive, Grand Budapest, Gone Girl, American Psycho, Frances Ha.
That's a hard fucking choice.
My choice is easy. I'd say Gone Girl.
You'd say Gone Girl?
Because that's the least rewatchable out of the 5.
Yeah. It's like, I would go with Frances Ha, but you're right. I could not rewatch Gone Girl at least for another year. So
I didn't think I've seen it since it came to DVD before we watched it.
That was 2014, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's double check. 2014. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on when, so either late 2014 or early 2015, it came on DVD.
Yeah. No.
And then I watched it through legal reasons. I did buy the film, so it's fine.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. Gone Girl's the weakest, and again, it's not a bad movie. It's still really fucking good. It's just the rewatchability is.
It's good for one watch.
Yeah,
at least. Okay, now on to yours that you've seen and I haven't. Mm-hmm. There is Jaws, Princess Mononoke, Vantage Point, Taxi Driver, and what am I forgetting? Suspiria. Sorry.
Well, weakest is definitely Vantage Point.
Weakest is Vantage Point.
We'll just get that out of the way. And what were the other ones? One more time.
Princess Mononoke, Suspiria, Jaws, and Taxi Driver.
Best out of all of those.
I'd say Suspiria.
I'm gonna lean with a Suspiria. Yeah.
That was probably the most interesting to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna lean with. I was leaning kind of towards Princess Mononoke because I got a greater appreciation of it. But thinking about really Suspiria, yeah.
And also that soundtrack.
Hell yeah. The one by Goblin is so good.
That opening song makes me just... It feels so Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a lightness to it, but also this weird creeping evil.
Yeah, it's great. The sound, just everything about the film is amazing. The cinematography and the soundtrack. So good.
Films neither of us saw before the list. Assault on Precinct 13, Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, The Babadook, Evil Dead, and The Big Heat. Worst is The Big Heat.
Worst is Big Heat, yeah.
Best.
One more time.
Seeking a Friend, Assault on Precinct 13, The Babadook, and Evil Dead.
I'm still torn between Babadook and Evil Dead. I was last night and I can't decide, really.
Yeah, we did talk about this last night, too. I think because it grew on me the most, the one I would give the figurative award to is Seeking a Friend, because I don't think I'll ever see a movie like that again.
That's fair.
Okay, what splits you between Evil Dead and Babadook? Because they're both horror movies.
They're both horror movies. The thing that splits me is that Babadook had a weak first act, and Evil Dead that was solid all the way through. But at the same time, Evil Dead, as amazing as the practical effects, and as much as I enjoyed the fuck out of that movie, Babadook I just felt was creepier with the horror. The horror elements were better.
Yeah, and it gets a little more creative than Evil Dead. Like, Evil Dead has a lot of good gore horror.
It has some great
body horror.
Body horror, yeah. Oh, the body horror in that is super creative.
Especially the fucking teeth thing.
Oh, the teeth and like pulling the needle out of his skull.
That was fucked.
Yeah.
So I guess that's
why I'm torn. I just can't decide because they both are great, but it's just.
Babadook is a bit closer to Silent Hill.
It is. That's true.
Okay.
That was a dirty card you just pulled, sir.
I know, but I thought
that was a very dirty card.
I put a gun to your head. Which would you sit through right now?
I'd sit through Evil Dead.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gun to my head, which one I had to rewatch, I'd rewatch Evil Dead. So.
I think that's a easier rating to go by of like which is the most rewatchable from the list. Now, the hardest one. Movies we've both seen and love. We got Django, Dread, John Dies at the End, Fight Club, World's End.
I know we talked about this last night too, but I think you're right. I think that, like, and again, not by much. It's World's End is the weakest.
World's End is it's so since it does have those hard truths.
Yeah.
It's
one of those movies you have to be prepared to before you watch it again.
I actually forgot how dark it was when we watched it.
I did too. And again, I think that was the reason it stuck up in my mind so much. Is because stuck out in my mind so much is because it wasn't afraid to do that.
Yeah, that's definitely the weakest.
Yeah.
The strongest.
Fuck me. So Django, and what's the other ones?
Django, Dread, John Dies at the End, Fight Club. I wonder if people are enjoying just watching you try to think this through, because I am.
That's such a hard choice, man. Django, Dread, Fight Club, and John Dies at the End. Oh.
Again, if you want to make it easier, which would you rewatch? Like, right now?
For rewatching, it'd either be Fight Club or Dread.
I was thinking the same thing, because, like, even though Fight Club's long, there's so many little details and good little quotes.
Yeah, and I love John Dies at the End, but like you said, you have to take a break from the weird.
Yeah, every once in a while you have to take a break from the weird.
So I'd either say Dread or Fight Club, in which case... Well, the problem is I fucking love Dread, and that I'd probably sit through, but Fight Club is so fucking good.
It is so fucking good.
So I can't really choose for that one. Is it Dread or Fight Club?
I would choose Dread.
You choose Dread.
Dread because it's shorter, but also it's a movie where if you're not thinking about anything, it's still like, you can drink, enjoy this movie fine. You can be sober, enjoy this movie fine.
Yeah.
Fight Club, if you're drinking, you may get lost a lot easier.
Yes.
I don't know why that's my way of criteria, but... And then finally, list as a whole. Vantage Point's the worst. Moving on.
Vantage Point's the weakest. If we had to choose the best out of the whole fucking
list. Gun to your head, what are you rewatching right now?
Let me look at it. Move your laptop over here so I can see the whole list. Okay. Gun to my... I mean, we're going to go by rewatching.
Yeah, I know that helps you.
That is so fucking hard.
Very hard.
What is the best out of all of them?
I might go with Suspiria.
Yeah.
I might because that soundtrack just fuck.
Oh yeah.
That's honestly what's selling me, because all of them are well shot. Mm-hmm. All of them have an enjoyable story, except Big Heat and Vantage Point. Mm-hmm. Like, if we couldn't choose Vantage Point, it would be Big Heat at the bottom.
Yeah.
We're being honest here.
Yeah. It was okay. I liked it. It was just disappointing, honestly.
Well, like, Suspiria was the most surprising to me. It was insanely enjoyable. The creativity was pretty cool, except for the barbed wire death, which is still...
still iffy. But
still, it's magic. Whatever. We'll move on from that.
Yeah, but it's the film that made me fall in love with Dario Argento. And just all the way his movies are shot and the soundtracks and everything. It's just so good. It's so good.
It's a film I still want to rewatch. Also, you know the metal case version you have?
Yeah.
That's like up $200 on Amazon now.
I knew I know it's super out of print.
Just boom, gone.
Yep.
Are you going with Suspiria as well? Or,
I'm going with Suspiria, yeah.
Or would you go with something like Drive?
I love Drive, but it's a slower, more artsy film, honestly.
It is.
So.
Okay. And that is a little recap.
Yes. So I think we should cut this in 2 episodes, honestly.
Really?
I mean, it took us half an hour to go through the recap, and
it would be a nice long.
I know, but the
finale.
thing is, it would be a nice long finale. That's the point. If people are watching this, I think recap / this. I think they'd lose interest after the recap. So I want to do 2 separate things, so to know this is the recap. This is where we go over the films that we were never going to watch.
Okay.
So
do you want to release both episodes on the same day, though?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so we're going to have a part 2, and just as a sort of segue into it, this is something we feel we need to cover before we make more wheels, even though we already did. We have a fucking no list. Mm-hmm. That will be explained a bit more in the next episode.
So yeah, thank you all for watching Cinema Roulette, and we will see you then.
Bye-bye. Ha.
Ha.
Cameron, can you hear me?
Yes.
How are you today?
Good. Thank you.
That's good. It's almost 11:30.
That is.